What's up, boys? So Ilia Topuria made it to the Joe Rogan Experience today, and there was a few little crazy clips that went viral today. This is like all of them kind of combined. It's a 50-second clip. We're gonna go over it, and he talked a lot about Islam. That was kind of the main point of topic today on the Joe Rogan Experience was Islam. Besides him saying that he loves Marab. Hey, I'm a Marab fan. Shout out to Marab. But we're gonna go over this clip right now because it's a little bit interesting, especially because of the layout of 155 right now. Let's tap in.
Would like to fight with Islam.
But if they don't give you that fight, if they give you like a number one contender fight, when would you like to fight next?
I wouldn't fight for a number one contender
Really?
fight.
I wouldn't fight for a number one contender fight, which is kind of like, listen, that's deserved. That's deserved. You just knocked out Volk and you just knocked out Max. Something that's never been done. Max never been put to bed like that, and you just knocked out Volk. You know, and how good is Tuporia when we just seen Volk beat Diego Lopez last weekend? You know, so I feel like he's kind of saying, I'm gonna sit here and wait. And you have to realize Tuporia comes from bread, comes from some money, so he's not sitting here and fighting for bread. He's fighting for legacy. He doesn't need the paycheck. He's cool. He has a $2 million gym in his house, in his crib. We're gonna finish the clip.
It's the most marketable fight, right?
I don't care if Islam decides that he doesn't want to fight me. I don't care. I said till you're gonna have to fight me.
That is some gangster ass shit to say. I don't care if you don't want to fight me. If you think I'm not eligible for you to even sit here and squabble up with me, but I'm gonna sit here and wait until they push you to fight me. Like, all right.
Okay. You say that you are the world champion. You're gonna keep dominating the division, all that. I'm here. You can't keep avoiding me all the time.
So you would just sit on the sidelines rather than fight someone else?
I don't think that they're gonna do that. I get the promise.
He said, listen, I'm gonna call the UFC's bluff right now, and I don't think they're gonna have me wait while Islam fights Patty or Justin. Which is, listen, if they don't book the Ilia fight, it's either Patty or Justin, and I hope it's Justin. I mean, obviously Islam's just gonna take him down round one and Darce choke him to death, but if they're not going Ilia, it's definitely going to be Justin, but I'd much rather see Justin versus Patty. Come on, it lined up at the end of 314 when Patty was calling out everybody. You panned to Justin Gaethje. He's right there, and he's saying, let's squabble up to Patty Pimlet. Let's make that fight and give Ilia to Islam.
Promise that I would fight for the title in my next fight.
Mm-hmm.
So how much time you will stop me and from the fighting? And I prove that I deserve that shot. Once I pass him, I get the title, and you put me against Patty.
And during this, he also says, listen, if Conor comes back, I'll give Conor a shot at 155. Conor's never coming back. He's never coming back. He's never making 155. But on this topic, Islam is running away from Ilia, which is rightfully so. Listen, Ilia slept Volk and Max. It's never been done before. But anyways, yesterday, before this podcast came out, and it seemed like the Ilia podcast was either recorded Sunday or recorded Monday because they talked a lot about UFC 314. But Khabib came out on the 15th and dropped this statement. Let's imagine Islam beats Topuria. Then Topuria fights again and loses. Basically, he was a nobody at 155. Islam beat a guy who was a nobody at 155 in terms of Islam's legacy. If we look at Islam's last two fights, it's a dude on short notice who he submitted in round one, which is like, okay, you know, understandable. And a washed up Dustin Poirier who is one fight away from retirement who took you to the 5th round and scarred you. Okay. Then you knocked out Volk, who's coming in on short notice. Okay. And then you lose a fight to, I don't care that it says Islam won. Islam lost that fight to Volk. Islam's last 1, 2, 3, 4 have been extremely questionable. He hasn't had a solid win since 2022. He lost that fight. Well, you know, the knockout against Volk is very solid. But let's be real. Volk came in on short notice, so we're not counting that. Your last solid win was October 22nd of 2022. It is now April 16th of 2025. You have yet to fight a real number one contender. Dustin Poirier was not a real number one contender. He came off of a loss from Justin Gaethje and then beat Benoit Saint Denis, and they threw him in a title shot for whatever reason. Let's get back to seeing what Khabib had to say. Islam doesn't want to fight Topuria or Volkanovski or somebody stepping in on short notice like Moicano. Islam wants to fight the big names who really deserve it, guys who have been in the 155 division for a long time. So he's essentially saying he wants to fight a trash can or a legend in the division of 155. If you look at 155 in the top 5, the only legends in here, basically Charles Oliveira. So he's essentially just calling for a Charles Oliveira fight or a Justin Gaethje fight. Not warranted. Not warranted. Matchup Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Arman Sarukian too, because their first fight was really close on UFC 300. Make it 5 rounds and give Ilia to Islam. Now, if Islam decides to move up and fight the winner of JDM Bilal, which would be really interesting because if Bilal wins, which I do believe Bilal is going to beat the dog shit out of JDM. I don't think JDM has a chance in hell of beating Bilal Muhammad. But if Bilal Muhammad wins, I don't see why Islam can't move up. Why can't you move up? You guys, he's not a part of Team Khabib. I understand there's loyalty there, but it's your job. You guys are fighting for millions of dollars. Let Dana White call me and say, yo, I need you to fight your friend for a super bag, $500,000. Go try to kill each other. I would be on it. My homies would have no problem. Let's run it. Let's go. Maybe Islam's scared of Bilal. Maybe he felt something in there. I know it might be a little crazy for you guys to think about, but I want you guys to really realize Islam hasn't had a real fight since October 22nd of 2022 against Oliveira. He fought Volk and lost 5 rounds. He lost. I don't care that it says that he won. Look at his face at the end of the fight. He knocks out Volk on short notice, then takes a super dusted, washed Poirier to 5 rounds, and he gets scarred up, and he submits Moicano again on short notice in round 1. Literally 1 day short notice. You know, so I'd say you fighting Ilia looks a lot more better on your resume than you fighting a Justin Gaethje, who is on his way out the door. Same thing will happen when you fought Dustin. Dustin's on his way out the door. Like, I understand he's in the top of the division. He's been in the top division for a long time, but he's not really a number 1 contender. He's really not. Maybe if Justin gets another win in, if he cracks Paddy or he cracks Dan Hooker, if they decide to rebook the Dan Hooker fight, because don't forget, Dan Hooker's still in conversations. So if they rebook that and Justin wins that, then go right ahead, put him in there. But Ilia's a killer. Book the Ilia Islam fight, bro. Islam is scared. Islam's scared. He's waiting until next month to see what happens, and I promise you Bilal's going to win. And if Bilal wins, we're going to be seeing Islam versus Ilia. They're not going to let Islam fight Justin Gaethje. They're not. Especially when they just lined up the Paddy Pimblett Justin Gaethje fight during UFC 314. Anyways, boys, I just had to go over that. I thought that was like a little bit kind of shocking that Ilia was even on Joe Rogan Experience, you know? And it's nothing new to me to hear that that Islam's like a duck and he's scared and pussy, but I just had to come in and boost my ideas about it. You know what I mean? Anyways, boys, shout out to the comment. Told me that my voice was really low. I turned it up. Let's go, boys. Anyways, peace.